of our program in general is to bring very bright and talented juniors and seniors into one school where they can sort of focus on their interest in science, technology, engineering, and math. We do allow for original and authentic research investigations so that these students can discover basically their aspirations, their goals, and really truly what their interests are in these four fields in science, tech, engineering, and math. We also give opportunities for the students to collaborate with experts in their fields of interest. And again, since the research is very authentic, they often do have new discoveries, and there's opportunities for them to do authentic research where there really is no answer out there to what their research is going to show. So there's possibilities for publications and just again collaborating with experts in the field and giving back to society by producing results that were not out there to begin with.
When a junior is accepted to the government school, they will be placed in a math class based on their performance in a mandatory placement test. If the score is not satisfactory, the junior will be placed in the pre-calculus class, and instead of taking Calculus 1 and 2 their junior year, they will take it next year. For juniors that score satisfactory or higher on the placement exam, they will be placed in Calculus 1 and 2 and take Calculus 3 and linear algebra their senior year.
I teach pre-calculus, and that's what we call the function analysis, or pre-AP class. That's for the juniors coming to first year at the school, and I teach the juniors and seniors AP calculus. Yeah, for the sophomore coming was for the prerequisite for the pre-AP or the function analysis is trig, algebra 2 trig. And when we say algebra 2 trig, means half-half. You have to have algebra 2 and you have to have a trig, at least for 2 to 3 months. It's not like doing like 2 or 3 chapters and you got a trig. It's really. And we have always a placement test for that to take. For the student coming straight, if they have the prerequisite for the calculus, they have two options. Either they're going to go for calculus AB, and this is based on the performance on the placement test we're going to provide for them as an entry exam, or calculus BC. And of course, the prerequisite for calculus BC is either you finish calculus AB, or like you have a high grade in
we're taking.
I take we're doing we cover both the AP and Mason curriculum. It's really fast paced and it's quite a challenge, but it's cool being able to finish both calculus 1 and 2 in college.
I'm new for this school at George Mason University. I'm teaching 2 classes. One is BC calculus and one is AB calculus. I noticed that many of the students in the class are very motivated, and that's why I really encourage. And some of them are really love to even go in higher level. My goal for this class is to get them to the level that they can see the application of math. They can jump to majors like engineering here at the college with no problem. And at this level, usually, especially dealing with math, if the student don't see the application broadly, they will not be too much encouraged to go into those high-level applications of math and engineering. And
I am teaching linear algebra this semester, and I taught calculus 3, which is multivariate. Calculus 3 is multivariate calculus, so we do a lot of vector analysis, and then we do double and triple integrals, and we use regular coordinates, polar coordinates, cylindrical coordinates, spherical coordinates, and so forth. And we use Lagrange multipliers and optimizations. In linear algebra, the main subject of linear algebra is the solution of systems of linear equations. And there are many ways to do it, so we go through all of that, especially the matrix operations to solve it. Well, obviously you have to have Calc 1, Calc 2 before you get Calc 3. For linear algebra, you need to have at least calculus. Definitely you need to have some math background.
For the selection of science classes, no placement exam is required and the specific science strain is completely up to the student. However, all of the advanced science classes do recommend and some require certain prerequisite classes. In addition, students do have the choice of switching science strands their senior year for personal preferences and reasons.
And I teach AP Biology, Anatomy, Physiology, and Microbiology. AP Biology is a course that entering juniors would take if they're interested in the biological science field. AP Biology for a prerequisite, you should have at least biology or honors biology. I also recommend AP Biology is not an honors biology course. There is a difference between those two courses. AP Biology is a rigorous and it's a challenging course that involves memorization of facts, yes, but more so application of those facts and materials.
We're taking advanced placement biology 104 and 105 for the reason.
What is the 104 and 105?
One is lab, which we take on Wednesdays, and then lecture on Mondays and on Fridays.
We learn pretty much everything from microbiology through like life, and it incorporates chemistry and pretty much a variety of different studies of biology.
Yeah, to go into biology or AP biology, you really need chemistry and
Yeah, application science courses, students can choose between taking anatomy, physiology, microbiology, or those individuals can choose to enter into another strand too after AP biology, and that can also be environmental science or environmental chemistry. Apologize. If they want to.
Well, last semester we took microbiology, and this semester
It's anatomy and physiology.
Could you elaborate on what that is?
Anatomy and physiology is basically looking at body structures and body systems. So we're going to look at the skeleton and all the different muscle groups.
and then we're going to really focus on how they work and why they work and what they do in our body.
And we mostly do this through dissections this year. So we're going to do some hearts and eyes and
Cats and rats and pigs, oh my.
So, sounds interesting. What are some prerequisites for the people who are biology students?
to be in biology, in the senior year, you have to have taken AP biology.
And before
last
that,
year.
really you just need a biology and chemistry background, really basic sciences that you can take at your
We're
basic.
taking chemistry this year. Chemistry, AP chemistry.
Could you elaborate on that class? What is it like?
Okay, AP Chemistry is basically taking your pre-AP Chemistry that you were supposed to take your sophomore year, which is good to take before this course, and expanding on it, going deeper into each of the topics that you cover.
It's just an in-depth of pre-AP Chem that most sophomores are taking right now.
Yes, but a lot of in-depth information. You'll learn the names of a bunch of various things that you weren't familiar with, and you will definitely extend on your basic stoichiometry and the things you learn from pre-AP Chem.
What are some prerequisites for the intriguing sophomores wanting to come to this class?
Definitely pre-AP Chem, definitely pre-AP Chem, and pre-AP Bio freshman year and pre-AP Chem.
I'm taking environmental chemistry and
Organic chemistry was our first semester course.
Could you elaborate on what those two classes are?
environmental chemistry is basically the study of all the different toxins and all the stuff that is in the environment. So how you can stop it and how you can control it.
And organic chemistry was like the study of organic molecules and how they interact, and a lot of memorizing of structures.
What are some prereqs that you recommend for people going into chemistry?
You need an AP Chem, like that helps a lot. You need to know a good strong background in chemistry and understand what all these different chemical terms mean.
Yeah, that especially helps with the labs, because in the lab every week and have experience in those departments and calculations is good. So AP chemistry.
That's the same reason, because there's a lot of math. Well, it's not even just the math, it's the application of math in a real world setting. And physics really just explains all the concepts that we just don't even think about and that we do every single day. And once you really just like get into it, it really just strengthens your math, especially your algebra. And it strengthens your understanding of the science and the world and how everything works together.
So, I heard you switched over to Physics B's your senior year. Explain that. What were you taking your junior year?
Yeah, I was taking chemistry, AP chemistry in my junior year, and I thought chemistry was not course for me. So I kind of switched to physics, and that's the reason why I didn't like chemistry.
So, what are some prerequisites you would recommend rising sophomores that are taking AP Physics B?
Be strong in Algebra 2, and if you can, do calculus.
Oh, and also they should know trig.
Yeah,
Trig
make
is
sure
really,
you
yeah,
know trig.
trig is really, really
Trig,
important.
algebra, just be strong in that overall, because that's what you're using for everything.
Also, I recommend to take just normal physics, just regular physics, because it helps a lot.
You two are seniors at government school. What upper level science classes are you taking this year?
We're taking AP Physics C, Mechanics, and Electricity and Magnetism.
Care to elaborate on what that is?
Well, like our teacher, Mr. Wilson, always says, I mean, physics is pretty much everything. It describes the lowest known phenomenon in the universe on a physical level. So what physics and mechanics did in the first semester is we got to talk about motion and how energy and how things interact and such as like that. But now we're talking about electricity and magnetism, so circuitry.
It's like electrostatics, point charges, electric fields.
And the important difference between AP Physics C, what we're taking this year, and AP Physics B, what we took last year, is this year we get to incorporate calculus, which takes it on a much more in-depth level, and we get to really see the fundamentals of why things work.
What are some prerequisites you would recommend for Physics C?
I definitely recommend you can have calculus as a co-requisite, but it's much easier if you've already got the calculus information. And you don't necessarily have to take Physics B before. We have one student who's taking Physics C this year, like that's her first physics class. But I definitely recommend taking Physics B first, just because it's good having that background established when you start bringing in calculus.
RAI stands for Research Application Integration, and what that is that students will be provided project-based applications of science and math topics with an integrated engineering approach. The descriptions of the Introduction to Engineering and AutoCAD courses will be answered by our director now.
The Intro to Engineering course basically came about to make sure we do have the E component in STEM. So we needed courses that were very much focused and geared towards students that are very much interested in engineering. After speaking with some of our experts in the field and engineers within some of our business partnerships, we were asked to provide courses for students for things that they really might need in the field. So AutoCAD is basically a program of simulations where students take software and utilize software to simulate things that they might actually later build in models and maybe even in a true form later on. But as a true engineer, we wouldn't want to start students where they're really just investigating what this true, whatever this is that they're working with, what this project should be, what the outcome should be before they simulate it on research. So it gives the background into simulation software so that once they do their testing with the simulations, they could take it to the model stage, which would be next.
The mentorship program is designed to provide students with an opportunity to apply what they have learned from previous coursework. They will design their own active inquiry experience, followed by engaging in research and preparing a technical paper and electronic presentation of their results. Students will have the opportunity not only to collaborate with their peers, but with scientists from the industry and academia as well. Students enroll in mentorship research both junior and senior year and have the option to either continue with their research topic chosen during their junior year for a more extended study during their senior year, or begin a new, more detailed topic of study for their senior year.
So, what is your mentorship?
Well, we're doing population projection for Prince William County.
And what is it about?
We basically analyze the current infrastructure of Prince William County, and then we take into account the amount of people that are going to be here in 2040 and change the infrastructure to accommodate for that number of people. Such as like high schools, middle schools, number of houses, fire departments, police stations, those sorts of infrastructures. Roads also, so all the new highways, all the new housing developments, all the roads that are going to go through there. And
what is your mentorship at the government school?
Okay, for my mentorship project, I'm doing a team activity with robots. We're each going to build our own robot and run it out of course autonomously, but with very little contact from the computer. There's a lot of programming involved, a lot of building, and there's lots of sensors going on.
I'm also in the robotics field. I'm not with the robotics team, but I'm doing a solo project with my mentor. He kind of guides me, and what I'm doing is I'm inventing a hyperspectral camera that'll be able to sort through recycling materials.
So, what is your mentorship?
We're in the TARC program. TARC stands for Team American Rocketry Challenge, and what we're doing is we're building rockets to compete in a challenge where we
it's a national competition. Basically, to condense it all, the competition is to build a rocket yourself
and match the requirements given to us by the TARC.
The requirements are you have to launch the rocket 800 feet in the air, bring it back down in a certain amount of time, and you're basically trying to transport up 2 eggs and back down safely. So that's the challenge, and it's pretty cool.
So you're a mentor at the government school. What is your responsibility or your job here?
Our responsibility is to teach the students about robotics, how to take a complex problem, break it down, develop a robot that will solve the problem, and help them develop it, and both in hardware and software.
So, like I heard in the newspaper that there's a picture of us, the robotics team. Can you elaborate on what that is?
We're using the robotics team this year. We've come up with a challenge that's totally autonomous, where the robots have to perform a challenge, which in this case is following a line, feeding through a maze, finding a light switch, turning it on, which will light up a token. They'll pick the token up, drive back out the maze, and leave the challenge. So, it's going to be mostly autonomous, I should say, and these students will use their skills to decompose the problem and write software and hardware to make it achieve. I'm working with some gentlemen from Micron, and they're very structured. They really want to find a way to evaluate the students with metrics.
The students have the opportunity to earn college credit or dual enrollment credits for all of their math courses and all of their science courses while they are enrolled here at the Governor's School. The school divisions pay for 3 semesters of math, and the students have the opportunity to purchase, again it's optional, but to purchase that 4th semester of math and all 4 semesters of science. Bottom line, when a student leaves the Governor's School, they would have at minimum 11 credit hours of dual enrollment coursework at George Mason University. They could have up to over 30 if they did purchase the optional courses.
Thank you.
The selection process is very high for admission to the Governor's School at Innovation Park. For more detailed information on how to apply, how the selection committee chooses its candidates, and if you're eligible, go to the Governor's School website on the screen and click the About Us tab on the left to learn more. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope to see you apply and attend the Governor's School at Innovation Park.